Hi there, I'm Ilja and here's Alina, and we're back with another review. Today it's Operation Kindergarten by the designer Harry-Pekka Kuusela and published by LudiCreations.
So regarding the theme, imagine kindergarten, kids running around, they stumble on one each other, they're crying, they find funny objects to play with like dead rats or scissors, for example. So it's quite a chaos. And you're kindergarten teacher and you need to manage all that. And you need to make sure that kids are safe in their classrooms by the end of the day for the parents to pick up. And the head teacher, she's actually retiring and really exhausted because of that cry, and she's looking for a replacement. So all that is quite a battlefield.
Yeah, big chaos there.
In the grim world of kindergarten, where it chooses the fuel of chaos, where the playground is the ultimate arena, where the struggle against tantrums is real, the teachers, guardians of order, remain ever faithful, ready to jump in and take the ball away if they have to. While the situation on the battlefield appears calm, hostilities may break out at any moment. The yard remains rife with dangers, and the tribes of kindergarteners will be unleashed upon each other any minute now. Who will prevail in the ultimate battle between light and darkness, between order and chaos, between disinfectants and sharp objects?
And let's go through the game, how it evolves. Now you have the playground in front of you, and you will start with a bunch of kids, and you will get more kids in the following turns, and you have to manage them all. The game starts with the first player rolling all dice and assigning them to various tasks or action points. You have action spots such as the direction or the speed of children. You have spots for teachers moving, teacher speed. You have the spot for the extra action that everyone will get, the movement of the head teacher, and so on. So you will, one at a time, in a clockwise order, put all the dice there, and then after that, when all the dice are placed, you're gonna resolve them. Now, how it's done? First of all, the children move. The children move, or the kids move, according to the dice that you all have put here. And they will move into directions that are listed or written here on the boards. And you have different directions, like the edges of the board are danger zones. They might be, it's hard to get children from there. They're very far away from the class, and it's dangerous there probably. Then you have the safe zone, the sort of a sandbox there. But the sandbox itself might also be not so good variant, because the children want to stay there longer, want to play them there, and it's really hard to get them out of the sandbox. It's really thematic there. Now, when children have moved, they might get collisions. They might stomp into some hazards like scissors or some stones lying around, or dead squirrel, something like that. They will get boo-hoos and boo-boos. These are the minus points for you. After all that, you will move, your teacher will move, and you will get the main action and the extra action. The main action may consist of different things, also the extra action as well. You can regroup children in front of you, you can order them to go in the direction you want, you can take away hazards like poo or robot toy or something like that that always distracts children, so it's really hard to get them in the classroom later. You can always get to the other side of the board by running or so on. You can get away with you can take away boo-hoos and boo-boos from the board. So you have lots of actions to do, but still you can do only main action and the extra action. So you need to plan carefully what children you can save and what children not. So after all that, you will look at what new hazards will come up on the board. They come up randomly in some spots, different spots, so you can plan ahead a bit and after that the head teacher will move as well, and then you will count the minus points that you will get. Some boohoos and boo-boos, these are the minus points that will give you with the head teacher in your class, you'll get doubled minus points because she hates crying. It's her last day. So the game is played over 6 rounds. The first 3 rounds, more kids will appear, and in the next 3 rounds you can try to order them to the classrooms, and that's the way how you can avoid maximum minus negative points. Because if more children will stay on the playground after the game is ended, the more negative points you will get. So trying to get all your children into the classroom finally. So that's basically it. That's how the game is briefly played. Let's first get the negative out of the way. So first of all, components and rulebook, especially rulebook. It's bad. It has many flaws. It has some rules missing. It's just not good. You might get stuck with that rulebook. Component-wise or the art-wise, I don't like the art that much, but I'm fine with that. On the other hand, so
the artwork is cartoony, but it fits the theme perfectly because kindergarten's kids. I don't imagine this game with different artwork. I love it.
Probably.
It's one thing that sold the game for me.
And all the tiles and the boards, especially the action board, is quite thin, or I don't know. It's for me, the component-wise, it's not good as well, as the dice are just really cheap wooden dice, and the cloth bags were really terrible, so we got them away. We pimped our game with better cloth bags and colorful dice. So that's about the bad thing, the components and art. So let's get to the better thing now. So
first thing that I would say, and I believe I might get back to that, the game is really incredibly thematical. So everything really makes sense here, until the tiny details, until from the whole feel that it's a chaos, kids running around, stumble upon each other, it's hard to control, until the last details kid playing with a toy is fine, but when 2 kids are playing with a toy, then they will start fighting about that toy and they will start crying. So makes sense.
So basically, we may say that the mechanics are well integrated into the theme, and we don't really know what came first, the theme or mechanics. So the mechanics and theme work well together.
Yes, they are married, because you can't. It's not based on theme. That's the biggest good thing about the game.
Yeah, the abstract part and the more random part of the game are the dice, so that you're throwing at the start of the round and then assigning to various tasks. It might feel really random as what dice you're gonna get, but on the other hand, you are choosing from what you get. So you're planning ahead. You can plan quite much from all that. And the hazards appearing, because the hazards are appearing at the end of the round, you can plan of getting rid of them or doing something with them.
You have the whole few actions. You have the assignment of dice, then you have kids moving, and then teacher's action before you will resolve the hazards. So it's random, but if you can imagine things, lots of point-wise are random, but the whole feel of the game is just not really random, not really.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like really dice placement. It's a sort of a dice placement game. It doesn't feel like that. Yes. So it's unique in my opinion, because you're involved more in doing the action with your teacher and moving kids or ordering them to go somewhere. That's the best part of this game, I think. The other great mechanic is kids getting together, getting into different groups, and if the groups are too big, they're gonna collide and gonna create these boo-boos and boo-hoos. You're gonna get hurt, and all the mechanics regarding the hazards like scissors or something like that, and the sandbox and how the children move. The children are always running toward the danger zone,
Not
most
always,
likely. No,
not
but
always.
most likely.
It's how you assign the dice. So if you can assign dice so that they would more go to the safe zone, the playing area, the sandbox, sorry, or they can go to the corners where they're in danger zone. So, and both again thematical. You can't get kids out of the sandbox because they're having fun there, or you can't get kids out from the slides and others because they have fun there, and they can move around a lot, and yeah.
And more planning is with the first 3 rounds, because you get the first bunch of kids, and then you get the second and the third, and so you can sort of plan where your kids will end up after. Of course, there's some random, and some other players who may ruin your plans, but
The other teaching can tell, like, kid, go play with those scissors there. They're quite mean.
Yeah, some teachers might be mean, so you can sort of prepare your children for the last 3 rounds where you have to gather them and then order them into the classroom. So I like that mechanic as well. Now
I need to mention before we just run through,
Yeah.
it has quite that aspect as well. You can actually decide if you want to play like that or you don't, but it's usually, come on, it's fun. It's fun to ruin, your kid. I will put your kid as far as possible from your classroom so they wouldn't get there on time or something like that. This part adds a lot of fun because it doesn't make sense in the real world. You wouldn't want other teachers' kid to get hurt, but
yeah, and firstly, I thought the analysis paralysis will come up in this game, and then there will be a lot of that. But what saves it from the analysis paralysis, because there's a lot of moving and deciding and planning as well, that when you put out dice on the action spots, you predetermine where the children are going, so you have like less opportunities, something like that. So you're gonna plan with a smaller bunch of information that you're gonna get. So that's why I don't think this game has too much of this analysis paralysis, although it's very thinky game.
You can try and actually just think through every kid's movement. But come on, why should you do that? Like, it's not fun, it takes time, it's no point because some other kids can get in the way. So it can be, but any reasonable person wouldn't get to that point actually.
By the way, there are variants to the game. The base game has kids moving. There has like a separate phase, where kids are moving in groups. So I think the first all the older kids are moving.
Yeah.
Then the middle sort of aged kids, and then the smaller youngest kids are moving. Now in the variants, there are different variants. The first variant is you're gonna move kids, but you're gonna move them one by one. So one at a time.
Variants.
Yeah, wargamer variants. You one at a time, and the game becomes more tactical. As first you move all the kids, and then you're gonna play with the children. Now you're gonna move one kid, then the other player moves one kid, and so on. So I think
That was great. We thought even to make that variant as main variant, and then another one more like family variant.
Yeah, it should be
official. And there is another one, that gamer variant, where you just get like twice as many hazards. But we really enjoyed that war game variant.
And the sandbox is not safe anymore, and so you can get stuck in the sandbox as well.
So the end of the game is quite fun, thematical, because you will try and gather groups of kids close to your classroom, but then you kind of turn your way and they're all gone. So like you can try to get this kid closer, but that will run away. So
overall, your thoughts on the game? How you feel?
I love the game. I really do. And I'm a bit sorry for the rule book, because there are lots of gamers who will not give game a second chance if they will not understand or play not correctly.
Should get the revised rules. Definitely, they should get that and get all the FAQs.
The FAQs up.
If it's up, they should work with that to make a new revised rulebook. Even put it online, for example, the official rulebook with more examples, with more pictures and so on. There are not any pictures, and it's just. I will not talk about it.
This is the game that is more thinky that you would expect, less random, and it's extremely thematical and thus fun because of the theme, because of the kids running around and like playing with the hazards and boobs and stuff.
Especially, I like this game not as much as Alina, but what I like about this game is it feels different. Although all the mechanics might be old mechanics, but sometimes you can get the game feel unique and different with same old mechanics. You can, for example, take the deck building game and make it feel unique. Same here, and I like the thematic part. I like how it has a lot of that theme. Although I don't know, this theme is unique. That what drew our attention to that game in Essen, and then we finally got this game. And here we are reviewing this game as well. So overall, I like this game as well. So I think let's go to our ratings.
Yeah.
I'll give this game 7 out of 10.
I give this game 8 dice out of 10.